Hi everyone, this is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors, where we build better contractors. This week I want to talk about small business optimism. Many of our contractors are not technically small businesses, but I think the nature of small business sort of reflects the attitudes of most contractors. We think of ourselves as, well, we started small, most of us, and so we still consider ourselves to be that type of entity. So I want to report on the December 2024 National Federation of Independent Businesses Small Business Optimism Index. They've been doing this since 1973. That is a long time. Now, what about this is important to you? Well, we all want to have that economic crystal ball that we can look into and kind of chart our futures. And you guys know what 2025 looks like for you, but what about beyond that? So they said that this is the best optimism reading since 2018. Which is 7 years ago. It's hard to believe, but that's 7 years ago. So let me read you this statement from Bill Duncanberg, who is their chief economist and has been for as long as I can remember. Optimism on Main Street continues to grow with the improved economic outlook following the election. Small business owners feel more certain and hopeful about the economic agenda of the new administration. Expectations for economic growth, lower inflation, and positive business conditions have increased in anticipation of pro-business policies and legislation in the new year. Sounds about right. So economic optimism among small businesses is terrific, and I think that's true among contractors. They said that the percentage of owners expecting the economy to improve is the highest since 1983. Again, that's a long time ago. That's quite a few presidents ago. The biggest problem that small businesses report, and I think this relates to contractors, is inflation. And that means higher input costs and higher labor costs. So I think contractors can relate. The second thing is they said that second biggest problem was labor quality. Get this, 89% of small businesses, 89% reported that they got either few or no qualified applicants for open positions. 89% no or few qualified applicants. That's frightening. They said that they are industries that are raising prices. Thought this was interesting. Number one, finance. Well, number two, retail, which I also found interesting because I think brick and mortar retail, I don't know what this considers, but when I think of brick and mortar retail, I don't see that going up and them having the capability, the economic clout to raise prices. Number three, construction. If you're not raising your prices in this environment, you really need to look at things really hard. I know competition is a thing and the region of the country, the type of work you do, all those are valuable considerations. But if you're not focusing on gross margin and raising your prices, you're missing out. I really think that in this construction environment, I don't have to say this to the trades because it's a trades market for sure. But if you're a general contractor, heavy civil or vertical, it really doesn't matter. You really need to be looking at raising your prices. And then the fourth industry was transportation. They're raising their prices. Again, kind of surprising, I thought. But anyway, that's what the report said. The percentage raising compensation was only about 29%. So that is a kind of a big departure from what's been going on recently. If you think about most industries, and certainly construction has been raising wage rates. That's the lowest reading since 2021. So perhaps wage pressure is easing a little bit. Now, what does this mean for contractors? If you think about it, construction has been kind of on a bull run, depending on your part of the world and what kind of work you do, since about 2012, 2013, whenever you began to emerge from the Great Recession. Now, what's soft right now? Of course, depending on your region could be a little softer than some boom regions like Texas or Florida. The type of work you do, for example, if you're traditionally been an office space builder, that sector is a little soft right now since COVID. 5 years ago, that really the whole idea of return to the office that was kind of pushed by lots of Fortune 500 companies, that really hasn't happened in the way that they thought. So office space is still really soft. Interest rates coming down, the prospect of lower interest rates in the future, that's great for developers, it's great for private construction. And then state and federal budgets are pretty strong, so that's good for infrastructure and heavy civil construction. So there's really some good headwinds, no, that's right, tailwinds. Tailwinds driving construction forward. A couple of other things. On the heels of this NFIB report that I got a report from CBiz, which for us, that means Markham, sort of strategic partners for us in the accounting world. Great construction practice. January 28th, they said that 60% of contractors expect their volume to go up this year. 2025 was supposed to be slower. You know, when you were looking at the economic tea leaves in 23 and 24, interest rates were forecast to be up. Credit is kind of tight actually these days. There were labor shortages to worry about. There was election uncertainty to worry about. And residential construction has actually slowed quite a bit. So those are kind of headwinds that would be holding commercial construction back. But positive factors are backlogs are really good. I mean, surprisingly good among our members in particular. Interest rates are a little bit lower now and forecast to get a little bit lower over the course of the year. Manufacturing is strong, driven by what? Data centers. Data centers going up all over the country. CBiz, I'm trying to get this new name in my head. CBiz says that unfilled jobs are reported to be down by 40%. So that means contractors are able to get the right people in the right places where they need them for the first time in ages. And then finally, input prices have ameliorated quite a bit. So there's some really good things happening in construction. The overall economy seems positive, and 25, which was forecast to be a little bit of a soft year for commercial construction, looks pretty darn good. So share with us your thoughts. Email me and let me know what you're thinking. What did we miss? What did we miss in this report from NFIB and from CBiz? And this is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors, where we build better contractors.